What's the good word, everybody? How goes it? Good evening. Hope your guys' nights are going okay. I am currently en route back to Honey Mommy's. It's where I'm going to cook some dinner for them. If they're hungry. Hope they are. And if not, then I will eat it the next day. But no, Honey Mommy wanted pork chops, so I'm going to spend some time and really try to make them as good as I can. Considering she only can catch certain flavors, I got to really focus on balance with salt. Make sure they're not overly salty, but I got to make sure that it retains that salt. So instead of just seasoning them, I'm going to rub the seasoning into the meat and hopefully make it a bit more flavor packed. That's a little secret, by the way. If you have problems balancing your seasoning, trying to find, like, one time you make it, oh, it was perfect, next time you made it, it's not very good. One, try to find a spoon. I bought these bamboo spoons that I like because I like gimmicky stuff and they're neat. But there's one particular spoon, I think it's like a quarter teaspoon or half teaspoon or something, but I usually fill up 2 of those for one good sized piece of meat. But it gives you an idea so you can try to maintain consistency. You go, okay, well, it's 2 of these, and then that's good. So put your seasoning on, rub it in really well. Rub it in really well. And then cook it. I'm going to bread them as well. Nothing too crazy, just some basic, not shake and bake, but by the way, shake and bake is just breading. There's nothing special to it. I'm not sure what the gimmick is, but I'm going to do an egg wash where you get an egg, break it up, put your meat in the egg, then in the breading. Some people do double coated. I may try depending on how much breading we have and how much pork there is, I may try to double bread them. So egg wash, breading, egg wash, breading. I've never done it, so I'm going to at least try it with one of them. Try to get as much crunch as I can without it being soggy. So we'll see. Cross some fingers. Spray down your pan. I was looking at some different cookware because recently Honey Mommy got a set of cookware, but I want a nice pan that I can take from the stove top to the oven and back and forth. And one of them I found does that. It's by this company. Talkin. I should take a picture of it. I'll have to look at it again. A little bummed out that I didn't find that truck I was talking about the other day, by the way. It's a little worse for wear. It's not as good as we thought it was going to be. And the friend of the person selling it said don't buy it. And this is the kind of person you trust, especially under these circumstances. So I was a little disappointed in that, but you know, it is what it is. Because there's some stuff I don't mind doing. I don't mind doing breaks and stuff like that. But there appears to be some other secret issues that weren't really made clear in the seller's post. Which is kind of depressing because it's a nice little truck. You know what I mean? If the price was way lower, maybe. Then it'd be like, alright, well, if it's way lower, let's see what we got. Then I'll do some work to it. I'll invest a little bit of money into it. We'll see. So, I had to stop at Walmart today because the original gift I was going to get Honey Mommy, I don't think she was really digging it. I think the concept is cool, and I may do it myself for other things. But I also may try to do it myself, buy the ingredients myself, because I feel like those kits are overpriced, and you basically get one go at it. And if I'm going to do it, I want to do it myself, and I think I'm going to acquire the materials necessary to kind of do our own version of it. But we shall see. I mean, we're really making some progress. You know, sometimes I'm fucking my mustache, driving me insane. You know, sometimes when me and oh, someone bought that truck, huh? Wow. There's a truck on the side of the road that was for sale that my mustache is not even, and it's bothering me. That was out of my price range. I wouldn't buy it, but it was sold. If I made more money, I would be more comfortable, but I'm trying, whatever I do, I want to make sure my nut does not exceed 50% of my money income. Bring home, not my gross, my net. So whatever it is I acquire has got to be 50% or less, and right now, in the next coming months, it's probably going to be pretty close to that, which is kind of a bummer. It'll be shy, it'll be like 40%. That's a big chunk, you know? So who knows, if I can get the channel going up and running again like I was, you know, because I have great supporters. Like we have, I think, like a handful of people that are still sponsoring us. You know what I mean? Still sponsoring the channel, even though we haven't been doing the type of content that got them to sponsor in the first place. You know what I mean? RT Overdrive Gaming, Animo to Wolf, Funtime Wolf, you know, really grateful, very grateful for them. But I got a couple ideas when we get the new setup done. But anyways, I was at Walmart to acquire another gift for Honey Mommy that I heard her mention she wanted. And it's funny, when I was talking to the guy, I was looking at it and I go, I want that. But, and I was going to get one for me too, because I got jealous. But I'm not going to. It's for her. And I hope she likes it. And if not, that's okay. No harm, no foul. But she mentioned it, and this particular one is very simplistic, user-friendly, and very convenient. So I'm hoping she digs it. We'll see. But anyways, the office is really close. I mean, technically, if you want to get technical, we could have it done really fast. Like with the work that's remaining, it could be done in one day easily. The only thing that has me hesitant is a vent that is not in the room. And we were going to cut a hole in the floor to extend the size of the vent. But we don't know about what's underneath, if it'll be doable, because we believe the joist, basically a support beam of the house that surrounds the perimeter, is there. And if so, we can't cut through that. So we have to double check to make sure we're not cutting through that. We're hoping, or I'm hoping I should say, that the joist is a little bit further out than we think it is, that it's not right on the edge, but it probably is. So I don't know if we can't do the vent that way, I may just say, fuck it, let's get the floor in, worry about insulating it, and then we'll figure out ventilation another time. Because the main concern is, because I'm going to have a lot of electronics in there, a lot of equipment, a lot of guitars, which are made out of wood, which can warp depending on temperature. And I don't want to have a space heater in the room. I mean, that's going to cost electricity. It's a fire hazard, etc., etc. I don't want to have to run stuff like that if I don't have to. But we'll see how it goes. my main concern is due to the lack of insulation is humidity. I don't mind hot and cold. It's the moisture that I'm worried about. But we also have some people coming out on Tuesday to take a look to let us know what kind of work they're going to do. But anyways, I was at Walmart, and I'm like, while I'm here, let me check and see if they have Resident Evil 8, The Village. And sure enough, sitting right there on the shelf for $49, brand new, Resident Evil, The Village disc for $49. I think it was even less than that, which I thought was interesting because the game just came out. So it leads me to believe that not a lot of people are buying the physical copies, which I like having physical copies. Don't get me wrong, it's nice that if you break it, you're not screwed. But I like having physical copies. I just do. It'd be cool if there was a feature, like a license feature, that if you buy the disc, you get a downloadable version of the game. Now, the issue with that is people would take advantage. They'll get the disc, they'll download the game, and then they'll return the game. That's the only downside. So there's got to be a way to activate like a key, and if that key is tied to that disc is no longer active. So if they do return it, another person can't buy that game and get a downloaded copy. You know what I mean? It's like a one-time use key that goes with that disc. But then you still run into stores that are going to have lots of returns because they already got their copy. So I don't know how that would work. Maybe implement some sort of return thing like, hey, if you take this game and return it, we're going to verify that key is active, and if not, you can't return it, or we'll give you a fraction so they're not out a bunch of money, because that's not going to hurt the gaming company. That's going to hurt the retailer that's selling it. But anyways, I bought Resident Evil The Village. I got it. I got my PlayStation with me. So I have stuff I have to take care of tomorrow, but if I have any free time, my plan is to try and see if we can actually stream it from the house, which would mean I'll have to stream it from the living room. So I'll have to see how that goes. But anyways, we'll see. I'm going to talk to the girls, see if they want to participate. Maybe not on cam, maybe they don't want to be... Oh, I forgot to bring headphones and microphone on. I think I have some in the drawer. I think I have some. I hope I do. Hope I did. Because if not, the audio quality is going to suck. It's not going to be great anyways, but I think it's going to be... I don't know, I think I got it covered. We'll see. Shit to the main. No one knows. But anyways, The Office, I know I mentioned this one in the previous streams, Honey Mommy tore out the carpet, so now it's just subfloor. The walls are pretty much painted. I'm going to do one more coat on the ceiling, but I have to do it gingerly because last time apparently I splashed. So we're going to do that. I'm going to put the covers on, the outlet covers. And then we just got to put the trim up, and then acquire the other trim for the corners, the rest of the soundproofing, which I could technically get sooner rather than later. Probably should, because when we're together I'll have more money that I have to output, which is fine. the good news is that'll also make life a little bit easier on her. That's going to cut, several $100s out of what she has to expend, which she's normally been expending. So now she can save or, do whatever she has to do too. So it's going to be beneficial across the board. Plus, it's not fair for me to move into a location, use its resources, and not contribute. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't necessarily matter what you're paying for, it's about the amount you're paying. Right? Because we can mask it and shuffle, shell game it all we want, but the reality is how much are you spending? And I think we've come up with something that's very fair. Very fair. I'm cool with that. Well, I'm not sure who just popped in, but if I missed you, thanks for being here. Did I miss a chat? I did not. Okay. So whoever was in here just lingered. Just thinking about this vehicle situation. Because financially, it would probably be better to save and just buy something for a little bit. But it's going to take a long time. I know the way we're going about it right now is taking its toll. It's making things difficult. And it's not because I don't like going back and forth. I want to be with her and I want to be there. It's just over time, it's becoming stressful. Not so much because I don't want to do something, because that's all I want is to be there with her and the girls. For me, I feel like I don't have the time. I don't have time for anything, which is weird because I do, but I feel like I have no time. Like, I get there, I go to bed, I wake up, I leave, I come. I feel like I have no time for anything. And I don't know, I'm creating that. That's not what's been created for me. I'm creating that. But that's where I run into trouble myself, internally, my inner monologue. So I don't know. But what gives me, what I take solace in, is that I know it's temporary. The part I struggle with is not the temporary aspect of it, or what I'm doing, or anything like that. I'm happy to do it. The part that I do struggle with is I don't know for how long. Right? I don't know how long that's going to take. Because currently, I don't know. I have to really think about it. Not so much situation. I mean, my brain is in 10 different places right now. So I feel like I'm bouncing around. I'm responding to my own comments. And it sounds like I'm responding to what I just said, but I'm actually responding to something I was thinking in my head. So this is going to make a whole lot of sense. I'm rambling. So understand that. My brother and my sister-in-law came out to the house, or the apartment rather, to pay some visits. I saw them for a little bit. What's up, pork chop? And but I couldn't stay very long, so I ended up leaving because I have a prior engagement with a honey and a mommy, also known as honey mommy, also known as love of my life, also known as yep. So how goes it for you, pork chop? What are you up to? I look tired, because I am. was trying to figure out, is that some sort of new exercise I ever heard of? I'm doing mad sugars. What's a sugar? It's basically where you do a squat and then you stand up. So you mean like a squat? No, they're called sugars. Why are they called sugars? Because on TikTok, they're called sugars. You know what? Between you and me, Penelope, we should call them sugars from now on. Oh man, I just tore my legs are killing me today. What's wrong? I did so many sugars yesterday. What? Sugars. Did I stutter? Sugars. I don't know what sugars are. Do me a favor. Why don't you get your hydro flask, hydrate, and then come back to me when you're sane. You got it. Sugars it is. Pounding out mad sugars. We can call them sugar squats. And just add one tiny little thing to it. Like, let me teach you guys how to do sugar squats. Sugar squats? That sounds interesting. What's a sugar squat? Well, basically, it's just like a regular squat. But it's slightly modified. Okay? What do you do different? Well, a sugar squat, you know how people put sugars in their tea and they kind of drop them in? Yeah. A sugar squat is like that. You're dropping into the squat like a sugar cube. Sugar squat. That doesn't make sense. Just hydrate, bro. Save the turtles. Save the trees. What are you talking about? That's the way to do it. I'll start you hashtagging sugar squats. That'll be our thing. Hashtag sugar squat. So your legs are hurting you after pounding out some sugar squats. Do pull-ups. It's funny you mentioned that. I've been doing pull-ups lately because I haven't done pull-ups in such a long time. When I was much, much younger, I was like 360 pounds at the time, but I was also taking steroids, and I was able to do 4 pull-ups at the time. Now, after that, I was never able to do pull-ups again. I was always too heavy, wasn't strong enough. And after losing weight, I've always wanted to try it again, but I haven't. And we have this steel pipe running through the closet that is the walk-in closet that's now becoming the office. And I'm standing there looking at it, and I go, I want to see if I can do a pull-up. And I did. And I was surprised. And as I'm doing them, I started feeling like, am I going to rip my bicep or do something to my back? It's okay. Pork chop, it takes time. And I'll tell you, starting out with pull-ups, if you have a good bar to do them on, start with, if you want to give it a shot, there's a couple ways you can do modified pull-ups. If you have a strong enough band, run the band over the bar and then loop them through your wrists so the band doesn't drop. Stretch it out over your knees and then do your pull-ups that way with the rubber band under your knees. That may help you. Pound a couple of them out, you know what I mean, or through your foot. And you can also do a modified pull-up. Instead of doing it traditional grip or reverse grip, hold it in front of you, like almost like you're going to slide down a pole, and pull up this way. Put your hands together like this. Start like that. You can get more strength out of it. It's a more natural grip. Try bringing your bands. Give them a shot. A lot of people do that. It's a great way to work out because, you know, let's say you can do a pull-up, but all you can do is one. It's not much of a workout, you know what I mean? You're going to get, yeah, I did one. And then you get stuck. It's like, okay, well, that was a strong movement, but it's not repetition. You're not breaking down the muscle necessarily. So using the bands should help you once you're able to do it with the band. And if you get more than one band, try bringing multiple bands into it. Use 3 bands if you have to. You know what I mean? And then as you get more comfortable, remove them. Focus on the form. Focus on control. Nothing wrong with that. Many people do it. It's a good way, even if you can do a pull-up, it's a good way to do the pull-up and get repetition out of it. Because pull-ups, man, are a great workout for your back. They're amazing for your lats, the whole latissimus, the whole back, upper. You got your cervical, your lumbar, and your thoracic all the way up. The whole lat section, your rear delts, your bicep. I mean, it's like a deadlift, but deadlifts are very dangerous. Unless you are competing and you are in a deadlift competition, I do not recommend deadlifts. It's a great movement. It works out the entire body, but the risk to reward ratio is very, very off. I don't even squat anymore because of that. I'm afraid of squats now because I've been hurt so many times and I've had the bar fall forward. I've done all sorts of things. So I'll do leg presses. I'll do leg press. I have to do static machines like Smith machines for legs because I've been hurt too many times. Because of stupidity, trying to do too much weight and whatever. Hold on, I missed your last comment. Let me read it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you work out primarily at home or do you actually go to a gym? You can, if they have a trap bar, those used to be my favorites. For shrugs, for squats. A trap bar is basically a square with two lugs coming out of the side so you can put your weight on it and you stand inside of the square. You grip it, you can do your shrugs, but you can also squat with it. You stand up with it and squat with it. And if you can't do a full squat because it's hard on your knees, you can do partial squats with it. You can just set it down and stand up with it. Set it down. Stand up with it. Set it down. Very like a modified deadlift quasi squat. Okay, well if you're working out at home, you got to do some modified stuff. Yeah, you can modify things. You take some dumbbells, stand there and just shrug. You know what I mean? Don't roll your shoulders, by the way. Don't roll them. If you're trying to work out your traps, don't roll your shoulders. Because you can pretend, you know what I mean? Don't roll them. Just come straight up. Straight down, straight up, straight down. If you roll them, you can potentially hurt your shoulders. So start simple. Just straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down. It's good for you. Keep it simple. You know, everybody wants to do a million different kinds of workouts in a million different ways. Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to hurt yourself. And I take it from the only reason I have any opinion on these things, one is I worked out a lot in my life. You know, when you're fat for the most part of your life, you've researched and read things and you've tried to learn. And I've done a lot of that. And I'm no expert. I've just done a lot of stuff. And more importantly, I've been hurt a lot. I've hurt myself quite a bit. I tore my rotator cuffs, my shoulders. If I take my shirt off, you look at my shoulders, they're all jacked up. They're uneven. But I've done a lot of great exercises. You know, because you can't get to a gym, sometimes you can't do different modified exercises. So you look at your biceps, for example, there's a lot of great bicep exercises you can do with just a set of dumbbells. You can do your traditional curls, right? Your traditional curl. You can do your reverse curl, right? If you flex your arm, look at your bicep, and then turn your wrist, and look what happens to your bicep. Watch your bicep muscle. It actually moves because you're working out a different section. The bicep, bi, means two muscles. There's two muscles in the bicep, hence the name. So by modifying that grip, you get a different workout. Then you have what's called a Zoloft curl. So it's like a reverse curl and the standard curl in one. So you curl up, you stand there with the barbell parallel to your body, and you curl it like a hammer curl, but you bring it to the other side of your chest. So you bring it up to the other side of your chest. So it's like a hammer curl and a reverse curl in one. and it's a fantastic another way of working out the bicep. Again, it just helps get you a rounded bicep. Gets a nice peak on the bicep, and it works both sides, the inner part and the outer part. Again, I'm no expert, you don't have to take my word for it, but something to think about. A great book, probably one of the best books I've ever seen on exercise, simplistic exercise, is Arnold Schwarzenegger's Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding, the very first one. I think there's been multiple releases of it, but the first one is fantastic. Anyways, I have reached my destination, Pork Chop, so I am going to get off here. I want to thank you for popping on by and chatting with me for a little bit. It does mean a lot. I hope you have a fantastic day. Don't work out too much. Don't work out too hard. Please be safe. Please take care of yourself. I love you, sweetheart. I hope to see you soon. You are amazing as well. We'll have to get you out to the house once we get things settled in, or whenever you want. You know what I mean? Come out and see G-Bear. Come out and see us. All right, sweetheart. I love you. Stretch it out, man. Release that lactic acid. Rub your muscles. Rub your legs, thighs. Rub them, squeeze them all the way down to your calves. Move that lymphatic fluid around. Cold showers if you can. If you're sore, helps remove some of that lactic acid. Pull it out of the muscles. Anyways, have a great night, sweetheart. I love you. I'll see you soon, okay? Bye, everybody else that came by or is going to watch us in the future. Bye.